Officer, maybe the justification of the 3.4?
It's in the statement. It's the statement which you've attached as supporting Annex 4. There is the statement of account from Bomet Water.
Auditor, have you looked at it, or we give you some time?
Invoice.
We have not seen the figure. Maybe you can specifically point it out.
Officer?
Chair, and also the invoicing of this amount of 18.4 million.
Yeah.
Maybe you can point out, because the one we see in reconciliation is 16.5, and there was actual transfer of 15 million.
You know what the auditor is asking is, it makes sense. So you're saying there was the 3.4 outstanding payables. It's not just a matter of writing it that this was outstanding. I mean, there's a way in which you justify.
So where is the invoice?
Is that statement here?
Yes, we've attached the statement.
Where is it?
Yes.
How does it look like? Because we also have the files. You said Annex 4.
This one on Kericho Water and Sanitation Company, you buy bulk water from Bomet.
Yeah, just show us that one that justifies the 3.4 so that we move to bigger things. We have two huge pending bills of 1-point-something billion that we need to deal with.
Chair, I think there is an account attached in Annex 4 from Bomet Water and Sanitation Company, which is showing a balance. We still owe them 16,575,925.
Waziri, deal with the 3.4. Deal with the 3.4. Just show us in that statement where that 3.4 is.
Chair, as he has indicated, looking at the Annex 4, the opening balance, what we owed Bomet was 13 million during the year when we began the year, was 13,142,305. Then the expenditure for the year was 18,433,620. But we were able to pay, we only transferred 15 million. So we have a balance of 3,433,620.
Waziri, you have repeated what has already been said.
Yes.
You have not dealt with that balance, the justification of that balance, and the evidence here. What you have said is what the auditor said.
Your water is here, you can explain further. Yeah, Mutai, Engineer Mutai. Yeah.
But you guys took us to a statement. The officer said there's a statement.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there is a statement which was rehearsed here, which is amounting to 18.4 million.
Where is it?
Annex what was it? Annex 4.
Annex
yes.
4 has almost 20 pages.
No, it's this one they're talking about.
The table.
The table.
Yeah, so this one you could have prepared on Excel on your computer. What the auditor is saying, that 3.4 there at the bottom, they have not seen justification or anything to support it, to authenticate it.
Honorable Chair, in that statement, line item number 44, which shows, this is a statement which runs from July 2021 all the way up to May 2025. But the year under review was financial year 2024-2025. If you look at line number 44, May 2024, that is the cutoff of the previous financial year. And that is why we are saying there was an opening balance of 13.1 million. In that financial year, we were billed 18 million, and it can show 177,114, 11, and 6.9. Totaling to 18 million. That is the bill for the year. So the 3.4 is the movement that you have the opening balance and you have what you have billed and what you've paid, the 15 million which you paid. That movement of 3.4.
I don't think we are communicating. And members, this is an implementation meeting. And I want to propose that we allow the Auditor General to examine this matter, look at the details that the officer is explaining, and we give them a date, implementation period of 14, 21, or 30 days. I think 30 days, because there are some things in this report where the governor will have to come back. So we give them a time to do the reconciliation and agree. If they do not agree, then we adopt the position of the Auditor General. Because we can't do that audit right now.
Chair, that's okay. But I'm just wondering why the officer has a problem communicating a very simple thing to me. Because you're trying to look for 3.433 million. You'll not find it anywhere. For me, this is a pending bill. It's money that has not been paid. That's what you're supposed to be paying. You have not paid that. It's a balance from 18 million after you paid 15 million. Why is that so difficult to explain? No, but we are saying other things. You are trying to look for it. Where are you looking for it from? You can't find it in the documents.
And this
money you have not paid.
I think, members, looking at the time, let's allow the Auditor General to scrutinize this and satisfy his the question that he had asked, because I could hear the question he was asking, which is not being addressed, and
Chair,
we make it part of the 30 days.
Out of curiosity, you are giving them 14 days to do what? Do they know what they are supposed to go and do? I thought we should be clear to them. Because the OAG is asking, for example, 3.4, these bills or the pending, that amounts to this variance of 3.4. So do they know what they are going to do?
The OAG is asking for the 3.4. That gentleman is trying to explain that he can see it.
Where?
But the OAG is not seeing it. Now, we give them an opportunity to review this and advise us, because we cannot depart from the OAG's position.
Chair,
if the OAG is not seeing it, even us, we cannot see it.
Chair, we are not doing miracles here this much. You know, it's only Jesus Christ who did it 2,000 years ago. We must see this 3.4 where it is the variance.
We have not seen it. We have not seen it.
He's saying he's seeing it.
We have not seen it.
Maybe he has
and if he feels that it is justifiable, we will ask them to sit with the OAG. This is implementation in 30 days, or in whatever duration that you are coming before this committee. This matter must be put to rest. Now let's proceed. There was an issue on NAV CDP.
Number 5.
There was an issue on NAV CDP. Again, another conditional grant. Can we quickly look at this, Auditor General? It's still outstanding.
Thank you, Chair. Unsupported expenditure and inaccurate transfer to National Agricultural Value Chain Development Project. The statement of financial performance reflects transfer to other government entities amounting to 502,651,539. The amount includes transfers to National Agricultural Value Chain Development Project amounting to 144,514,015 as disclosed in Note 11 to the financial statements. However, the amount differs with the IFMIS payment detailed amount of 89,383,098, resulting in an explaining variance of 55,130,917. Further, the project's opening bank account balance as at 1st July 2024 was 134,927,319, and that during the year the project received 144,514,015, and the closing balance was 413,304, which shows that the total expenditure for the project was 279,028,030. However, the respective expenditure returns together with the related accountability supporting documents were not provided for audit review. Thank you, Chair.
Governor?
The Honorable Chair, the variance of Kenya shillings 55,130,917 is the difference between the expenditure for the year of Kenya shillings 144,514,015 recognized as transfers
and the amount received of Kenya shillings 89,383,098, comprised of Kenya shillings 10 million from the counterpart contribution and Kenya shillings 79,383,098 dispersed after the closure of the financial year and recognized as receivables as shown in the table below. This is details. Number one is a total expenditure during the year 144,514,015, and that is Annex 5A. Amount received during the year co-funding. This is our own county contribution of 10 million, which is also in Annex 5B. And then amount dispersed after the closure of financial year from the donor, that is after we closed the financial year, was 79,383,098, and it is Annex 5C. Reported variance 55,139,17. We further wish to clarify that the project expenditure of Kenya shillings 144,514,015 was concurrently audited under the State Department of Agriculture, where the project is domiciled, and a good sample of expenditure of returns for the expenditure of Kenya shillings 144,514,015 has been availed for verification.
Auditor General, starting with the numbers.
Thank you, Chair. It has been explained that the amount include an expenditure of 144,514, and it also includes 10 million transferred from the county letter. So this implies that the figure was determined from the expenditure instead of the actual transfer. So the records could not be clear. And again, on the 79 million, we have done a reconciliation of the amount of money received by the project, that is opening balance 134 plus amount received, then minus the closing balance, so that we get the actual expenditure, which is 279. So these figures have not been reconciled. Thank you.
Now, surely, Governor, numbers must add up. The Auditor General is saying they're not adding up. I thought the problem here was the policy part, where the oversight is being done under State Department of Agriculture, and we'll come to that. But the numbers here must add up, because we are hearing bad things in counties about utilization of conditional grants. NAV CDP, before NAV CDP we had NARIP. NARIP was poorly implemented. Then we have FLOCA and several other grants. So when the auditor is raising questions on NAV CDP, it's not something that we can excuse as an accounting mistake. So he says the numbers don't add up.
Chair, thank you so much. I was in Senate last week before the committee of authority, and I'm very happy that the report on FLOCA was unmodified, which was one of the few counties on earth which excelled on it, and thank you for that. Let me ask the accountant then to respond.
Okay. Now we are on NAV CDP. There are audit queries on the numbers.
Okay, Honorable Chair. The variance reported, that is the variance of 55,130,917, is actually the difference between the expenditure for the year of cash shillings 144 million, recognized as transfers, and the amount received of cash shillings 89,383,098, comprising of 10 million counterpart and 79 dispersed.
Isn't that what the governor has just read?
Yes.
Which the auditor is saying is not adding up.
But that's where the 55 million is coming from.
Did you listen to the Auditor General when we asked him about the numbers? He has said it is not adding up. That's what you need to address, because you are rereading what has already been read.
I'm explaining the variance.
No, you are reading. I can see what you are reading. It's here.
Yeah.
Auditor General, can you help that gentleman so that he can respond to the right thing?
Okay, thank you, Chair. We are saying in the financial statements, an expenditure of 144,514,015 is disclosed against IFMIS records indicating 89,383,098, resulting in an explained variance of 55,130,972. 917. Then the next query is the project opening. We are doing a reconciliation of the bank account for this project, where it had an opening balance of 134 million, and during the year it received 144 million, and the closing balance in that bank account is 413, which implies a total payment of 279 million has been made. So we want an explanation for these variances.
Okay, now maybe you should address it directly before he goes back to read the governor's statement. Officer?
And also to answer so that he can answer both.
Yes, Senator.
Why was some amount spent in IFMIS and 89 million paid outside IFMIS?
89 million is made up of 79 million that was received after the end of the financial year, and the 10 million, that's the county contribution.
All the money is put in one account.
Yes.
Why is some money spent using IFMIS and some amount spent outside IFMIS?
Chair, I think
Senator Cherargei, you can
the
also...
issue is variance of this 55,130,917. Because if you cannot explain this variance, then it was not spent as per the condition. So, Bwana CEO, or was it director? Was it CEO or director? Director accountant. The accountant. So, where is this variance? Is there a possibility?
Can we
No, Chair, sometimes, you speak to a man to the language they understand, it goes to the heart. So maybe that would allow assist him, Chair. But my only concern is...
Whatever you say will be expunged from the record.
Can you explain? That is what I was just emphasizing.
Okay, that's good. Please explain the variance.
Yes.
You have reproduced the variance. You have it there in your analysis. You have said variance. That's what we are asking you to explain, and that's what the Auditor General had asked.
No, Chair, Governor Kericho.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why are your officers not saying, they say things in passing? If they just explain, we would not actually even be seated here. I'm hearing that man saying that is mentioning 79 million that was received after the closure of the financial year, and another 10 million also received after. Is he saying that that 89 million Kenya shillings was received in your accounts outside of the audit cycle? That by the time that the auditors came to you, that money had not been received in your account. Is that what you're saying?
Through the chair, thank you, Senator Wambua, for that observation. Maybe Director of Finance can help us, or can help the accountant to explain.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, the 79 million was received after the close of the financial year. But since we are on accrual basis, we are required to disclose it as a receivable. And it forms part of the movement in that account. And we disclose and report in the 2024-2025 financial year.
Is that difficult to explain?
Also to note that for the committee to note, the NAFCDP project, it's not a self-reporting entity like the other ones. So for us to disclose the cash and cash equivalent, that is balances in those accounts, we have to bring in the expenditure bit. And the accountant in charge of that project shares with us the expenditure during that financial period, so that we disclose together with the books of the county executive. And in the notes to the financial statements, we've disclosed the balances in those two accounts.
So one, there's a spar for
the balance in the CBK SP account, and also the balance which is in the commercial bank account. And it forms part, since we're required to report on these balances, it means then we're required to report on its expenditure as well.
But there's a special purpose account for NAV-CDP.
Two, actually. There is one at CBK and another one at a commercial bank.
Okay, Senator Gata.
Chair, quickly, so just before majority talks, Chair, we are not doing audit here, We are entirely relying on the report of the OAG. So somebody would be interested to know whether the entity got time to explain what they're telling us now. Because, did you at any given time engage the auditor to give those explanations? Because this matter we shouldn't be before us by now, if they were satisfied. We are not auditing. We are trying to go by what the auditor has presented before the committee. Auditor in this process is a prosecutor.
I share your frustration, Senator Gata.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have to respond to that at some point, but let's hear from Majority Leader.
Chair, what is concerning me is a repeated theme in all the items that we've gone through, and even this particular item that you're discussing. While you people are discussing figures, if you read what the auditor is asking, he's not asking about figures. It's a simple thing called a document. And that is what is at the heart of all this problem. The fact that we have expenditure that cannot be supported by any document. It's not about explanation. And that's, Chair, what I struggle with following the conversation today. And it's something that really bothers me. The fact that in all items that we have gone through, this is the fifth one, is all about unsupported documentation. So perhaps the question we need to ask ourselves is, where are these documents? Because if you read this auditor's report, he's saying, however, the amounts differs with the IFMIS payment details. IFMIS is a mother source of all these documentations, with the IFMIS payment details of 89,383, resulting in an unexplained variance of 55. What is the conclusion from the auditor? In the circumstance, the accuracy and the completeness of 144,514,015 included under the transfers to other government entities could not be determined. So the auditor is not struggling with the explanation that is being given about this money came in at this time or the other. Is the fact that as per the documents provided during the time of the audit, they cannot support the expenditure. And what I struggle with, Chair, is where do these documents go? Perhaps that is the basis of the biggest thing we need to unravel in our conversation today with the county government of Kericho is, where do your documents go? That is the biggest problem.
Majority Leader, I also share your frustration because the Auditor General has said, in addition to what you have said, the respective expenditure returns together with related accountability supporting documents were not provided for audit review.
Yes.
And then the governor responds and says that it was audited under State Department of Agriculture. And a sample of expenditure returns has been availed for verification. We expected you to avail it to the Senate because this is a report that is before the Senate. We cannot say that it has been availed to the State Department of Agriculture and that's it. And members, that's a problem with the these conditional grants that we are passing. NAV-CDP is processed through the Senate. I think it's an instrument that originates from the Senate. Yeah. It does not even originate from the National Assembly. It originates from the Senate. And then when it comes to expenditure of that money, Governor, you're telling us, no, that one was audited under State Department. It can't be that way. Because that money has come to you. You have applied it on your budget. It's your officers you have spent on it. It cannot be that when you now ask the question, you tell us it's at the State Department of Agriculture. I think that's what we must also deal with beyond the numbers. Because for this amount of 144, the Senate has absolutely no visibility on how it was used.
Thank you. I share in the sentiments of the senators. One is that what comes out in NAV-CDP is that this is a program that is audited and is basically domiciled within the State Department of Agriculture. Sometimes, Chair, many of the programs even done are actually procured through the State Department of Agriculture. I'll give you, for example, the e-fascination program. The county has nothing in the procurement process or even the expenditure of that money, because it is done by the national government, and all we do is just to execute what has been done. And most of the time, I think this is one of the first times that this program is becoming a self-reporting entity. But not to belittle that, I think Senator Aaron Cheruiyot mentioned something on documentations, which I share in that concern.